Are you looking for the easiest way to start Amazon FBA from scratch? You've come to the right place. In this video, I'm going to share with you how you can get started today in 3 simple steps. The first step is finding a validated product. There's no need to get too caught up with setting up your Amazon seller account at first. You can totally do that after you've found a good product to sell. It's just something that needs to be checked off the list. However, something you do need to check is if you meet the residence requirement for selling in Amazon US. Essentially, you don't need to be living in the US to sell on Amazon.com, but you do need to be living in one of the 186 countries. I attached a link to the specific page in the description box. Other than that, you can just dive straight into product research. The reason why finding the right product to sell is so important to your Amazon FBA success is that you're actually going to invest money in the inventory of the product beforehand. So you want to make sure that there is enough demand and not too much competition for your product. I hear a lot of people saying that they failed at Amazon FBA because they really haven't put time and effort into validating the product. For example, if you only rely on your emotional and subjective opinion and decide on launching a scented candle product simply because you personally like it and saw a lot of your friends buy it, you're really risking all your effort and money. The great part about Amazon FBA is that it's very data driven and therefore low risk. There's a whole phase of product validation and market analysis you need to do before you go to a supplier and pay for a whole inventory order. For example, you need to check the existing seller's revenues, review count, profitability of the product, and so on, so that you can make sure when you launch this product, it'll be able to bring in consistent passive income for you. Now you may be wondering, how do I check the seller's revenues, review count, and all the data? It's actually really easy. You're going to utilize a product research tool such as Helium 10, which I highly recommend. It is essentially a third-party software that will give you all the information about the product you're researching and so much more. You can pull up information about a product when you're on the Amazon page like this by adding the Chrome extension. Then you can see all the seller's sales, revenues, review counts, rating, and all the other useful data that can help you make the best decision. Not only that, Helium 10 also has a feature called Black Box where you can find products that meet your criteria. Basically, you can set a criteria such as a monthly revenue more than $10,000, review count less than 300, and so on. And the tool will populate all the products that meet the criteria in a few seconds. What you can do later is simply go through the list and find a product that you can sell. Another cool thing that can ensure the success of your product launch is the profitability calculator feature in Helium 10. What this feature does is it shows you the profit margin and return on investment of a certain product. So let's say if you're going through the list of products Black Box generated for you and found a potential product, you can then go into it and click profitability calculator in the Helium 10 Chrome extension. Then it'll give you an estimation of the manufacturing cost, Amazon fees, profit, and so on. This way you can know if this product will really be profitable right from the start. You see, launching a product on Amazon FBA really gets to be easy and low risk. The key is that every decision you make in the process needs to be backed up by numbers. I know some of you might be thinking, I'm not really good at numbers. Well, you don't need to solve some complicated mathematical equations. All you need to do is just to check some numbers to validate your product. And there's actually an easy to follow framework for that. In fact, I'm going to host a free masterclass soon to teach you exactly my framework to a $10,000 per month Amazon FBA business. Even if you don't have a lot of money to invest, don't know what products to sell, or are brand new to e-commerce. So I highly recommend you to snag your spot right now via the link in my description box. The next step after product validation is sourcing your winning product. Even if you have zero experience sourcing products, it's actually really easy. You can simply go to Alibaba, which is a platform where you can find high quality suppliers, chat with them, and place orders directly. When I first started, I never worked with any supplier to source products, and the process was not hard to learn at all. To be more specific, you can go to Alibaba.com, search for a product, then all the suppliers manufacturing this product will pop up, and you want to make sure sure you select suppliers with trade assurance and are verified, so you can pick the best supplier. Later, you can chat directly with a few suppliers, asking for their quote, minimum order quantity, and so on. And later, you can place an order directly on Alibaba. I've personally worked with quite a few suppliers on Alibaba, and they're all pretty legitimate. Something you need to do though to make sure you find the best quality supplier is to order samples from different suppliers you're comparing. The reason is that you might get similar quotes from different suppliers, and the best way to make the final decision is to see, touch, and test out the sample products, because suppliers can claim a lot of things, but you really have to see it for yourself. You should also use the product yourself, like how your target audience will be using it, to see the quality and see if there's anything you can improve. For example, if you want to launch a protein shaker, you should at least order 3 samples from different suppliers and actually make protein shake with these shakers a few times, or even send these samples to your friends who would normally use shakers like that to give you honest opinions. It's also during this time that you will create your brand or label. Remember that Amazon FBA private label is a business model where you manufacture a generic product and attach your own brand to it. Basically, when you search up a keyword on Amazon, all the products that pop up are probably made by similar manufacturers. What's different is the small refinement and improvement that the sellers made and their individual brand. After you find a good supplier to manufacture your product, you will need to work with a freight forwarder to ship your inventory to the Amazon warehouse in the US. With Amazon FBA private label, you can simply ship all your inventory to the Amazon warehouse, and they will process all your orders and ship them out to your customers in 1 to 2 days. So you don't need to worry about packing or shipping the products at all. Also, if you're not familiar with the US import rules, it's totally okay. Most freight forwarders will handle all the shipping, customs, and taxes for you. What you do need to make sure is when you work with the freight forwarder, the contract term is DDP, Delivery Duty Paid, which means that the freight forwarder is responsible for delivering the goods and paying the import duties and taxes. Before I move on to my next tip, I wanted to let you know I have a free Amazon FBA guide where I share with you the step-by-step process and strategies to launch your first product. These are the exact steps I took to hit over $10,000 in sales a month with Amazon FBA. You can download it via the link in my description box. The next step after sourcing is launching your product. After you've manufactured your validated winning product with your brand and shipped it to the Amazon warehouse, it's time to create a launch strategy. A common mistake I see a lot of Amazon FBA beginners make is launching a product with no launch strategy whatsoever. This can easily make your launch flop and end up wasting all the money and effort. A proper launch strategy should include your pricing strategy, daily sales goal, PPC ad strategy, and so on. I can't stress this enough. There is a 2-week honeymoon phase with every new listing on Amazon, so you really want to try to rank on page 1 during this period. The reason is that being on page 1, or ideally the top of page 1, is essential for bringing in traffic and sales, because that's just simply how people are going to discover your product listing and make the purchase. To be transparent, that's the reason why it takes time to start taking out profit and start paying yourself with Amazon FBA, because initially you need to invest in PPC campaigns to bring eyeballs to your listing. The product you first put out won't create enough trust with your ideal customers compared with all the other listings with a lot of sales histories and a lot of reviews. It'll require your support and care to be able to generate sales on its own and make you passive income. Luckily, you don't need to bring in an audience from other platforms, as Amazon already has a huge base of loyal customers looking to buy things every single day. What you do need to focus on are PPC campaigns using coupons or other Amazon's advertising methods. Really think of this as an investment instead of an expense for your product, although it is money out. The reason is that as your listing gets more mature, meaning that it has more sales history, more reviews, and is ranked on page 1, there's no doubt that it will keep bringing in income for you. When it comes to how long the launch period is, it really varies from product to product. Usually your PPC cost will go down as you get more and more reviews. And as you get more sales, you're also able to slowly increase your pricing. Typically, you can start taking out profits starting the second or third batch of inventory, so roughly 3 to 5 months after your launch. Personally, for me, it took me about 3 months to start paying myself as I had to reinvest my profit into the second batch of inventory. As you can see, there's a lot of small details involved in the process of starting an Amazon FBA business. It can get pretty complicated if you're trying to DIY everything yourself. And the risky part is you're going to need to put down your hard-earned money for inventory and shipping beforehand. But you're in luck as I have studied, put in the work, gotten great results, and I'm sharing everything with you in a free masterclass. This is a free masterclass where I will share with you my exact framework to a $10,000 per month Amazon FBA business. If you are interested, I highly recommend you to snag your spot right now via the link in my description box because the spots are limited. At this point in the video, I know you might be wondering, how do I really find a product to sell on Amazon? That's why your next action step is to watch this video, how to find a good product to sell on Amazon FBA. Also, don't forget to download your free Amazon FBA guide via the link in my description box with specific strategies to get started today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.